guys, welcome back to Two Bricks, and this is another Let's Build video, probably the most requested one that I've had so far on the channel, which is to tackle the rest of the kind of Republic fleet here. I've already done a video covering the LAAT, but you guys wanted to see the LAATc and the ATOT and ATTE that are the cargo that this can drop off. So I decided to make a Let's Build video for you guys and show you how to do that today. As always, the link is down in the description to the digital file for these models so that you can open them up, customize them, order the parts that you need should you not have them on hand, and build your own. Alright you guys, so without any further delay, let's get into the build process. Alright guys, so as always, these are all the parts that you will need, and we'll start with the LAATc here, and I'll just show you guys how to build this. So we're going to start off with the main kind of central body section. We're going to take our 1x2 modified plate with clip, and we're going to place a 1x1 tile on top of there. And we're going to take a 1x1 modified brick with a stud on the back, and then we're going to place our 1x1 tooth piece on top of there. It's going to give us this little interesting back shaping that this vehicle has. Next, we're going to take a regular 1x2 plate. I'm going to place it on there, and then one of these really old, interesting finger hinge pieces that they don't actually make anymore. But they're really crucial and integral to this design. So unfortunately, these probably are going to be a little bit more expensive to get a hold of on the secondary market, but they are crucial to this. So like I said, got to get them. Okay, so that's the kind of main central core of the body. So let's start with the attachment point for the wings. So we'll take our 1x3 plate and we'll attach two 1x1 clips, one on this side and one on the other side. And they're going to be facing out opposite ways. This is what's going to hold in the engine assemblies. I'm going to cap that off with a jumper plate here, a 1x2 regular white jumper plate, and then a cheese wedge on the front. So this represents this kind of interesting, I think it's like a radar sort of emitter sensor thing that's on the top of this, which takes the place of those missile launchers that you see on the regular LAAT. So then this whole assembly pops onto the top like so. Next, we're going to build up the bridge section. So we're going to take our two 1x2 finger hinge plates with 3 teeth on them, place them one on top of the other like so. And we're going to take a 1x2 plate, or sorry, a 1x2 tile in the white and just place it over this single stud right here. And then this modified clip and bar piece with the bar attachment right there. And then on top of that, we do our 1x2 dark blue plate and the single trans-clear round tile to represent the single cockpit bubble. Then we can go ahead and insert these. So we're going to insert this into the top portion here of the 3-toothed assembly. And then that bottom plate is what allows this to just sit at the exact right angle, and it stops it from going any further. So that's really important. Next, we're going to build up the front gun section. So we're going to take our modified 1x2 clip, and we're going to place a dark red 1x1 tile, or plate, sorry, on the bottom. I can never get the difference. And then a 1x1 white plate on the bottom of that. Then we take our cheese wedge in white, place that back here. And then we're going to take one of our modified 1x1 bricks with the studs on all 4 sides and plug in a T-bar piece, which is going to be what holds our guns in position at the front of the nose of the ship. We're going to place 2 white minifig hands onto that. Next, onto the sides with these 2 studs right here, we plug in a cheese slope on either side, one there and one there. And then this whole assembly plugs into this bottom portion like so. Now we can click all of this in using the bar to that piece right there, and then this just fits very snugly in there, and it creates this nice exact kind of angle that I want to have for the ship, so that this whole feels like it sits in place properly. Like you can lift it up a little bit, but this is the angle that you want it at, and that's where it's naturally going to want to sit. Next, I'm going to build up the kind of grabber arm section. So it's very simple. We just take our interesting, I think this is like a handlebar piece for something. I don't know, but we're going to take this and we're going to plug in 2 of our white skeleton arms. These are the Ninjago skeleton arms. And then these little, called like tap pieces, or faucet pieces, make up the little, the kind of magnetic plates that grab onto the actual vehicles. And then that just plugs into this clip that we have like so. Next we'll do the wings. quite simple really. We have a 2x4 plates, and we plug in a 2x2 round inverted tile, and then a modified 1x2 with clip in the center. And then we take our 1x2 dark blue tile and 1x2 dark blue plate, and that just holds the whole wing together really nicely. We'll go ahead and make the opposite one, so exact same thing. Take the round inverted tile, the clip, 2x4, the 2x1, and the 1x1, and we make the mirror image of the other one. So for the engines, I have these pre-built because I wanted to show you the exact kind of right configuration to have these at, because it's kind of a tricky thing. So I have my 1x3 bar, and then I have a hollow stud that is white, and then one of these Technic half bushings in here, and I have a gap up at the front, and then here I have the same thing lined up the same way, except that the stud is pushed up to the front next to the bushing, and that is because we need to plug these in to these offset clips right here and have them be at the same spot. So this one clicks into the front, this one clicks into the back, and it leaves us exactly enough room to plug in the wing assemblies on either side, like so, and then have them be equally spaced, like that. So there you have that. And then it's just using these Technic half pins at the back to create the engine outlet, which is in blue. So there is your LAATc, and then I'll just create the little stand here really simply. As you guys know, with all of my microfleet vehicles, I have a little stand for them. So that's just a black lightsaber bar piece plugged into a regular 1x4 bar and sitting on one of these minifig display plates. And you can just plug this into any open stud at the bottom of the ship, to create the stand. So there you go. Next up we have the ATOT, or the All-Terrain Open Transport, which is essentially a troop carrier, and I'm going to show you guys how to build it right now. So we'll start off with our 1x4 plate, place a 1x1 gray, regular light gray plate on here, or light bluish gray, and then we take our headlight brick in the dark red, that represents the cockpit, and then we take our cheese wedge in the dark brown, or sorry, dark trans dark brown, or trans black, whichever you prefer. And that just forms up the unique shape of this vehicle's cockpit. Next up we have our 2x1 modified brick with the studs on both sides. And then on the back here we have a clip in black, single 1x1 modified clip. And this 1x1 stud here represents, or 1x1, sorry, plate in the dark green represents the area where the troops actually sit in the vehicle. And then we just create the little kind of walls around the side to, define the area where they sit inside of. And then up here we have representation for two gun emplacements, represented by 1x1 clips with the horizontal configuration. And we top it off with just a 1x1 tile that just gives it a nice smooth look in the back here. Then finally I have this little bar piece, the relatively new rounded ones, and I place that in there, and that acts like a opening door, which is something that's really cool about this vehicle, is that it kind of deploys the troops out of the back, and I was able to get a little bit of a suggestion of that in there. Next up we make two identical sub-assemblies. We take a 1x4 plate and 1x1 plate and plug them in together like so. So, times 2 on those. There you go. And then we just place those right here on either side, and that just finishes off the shape of the body. So these green areas represent where the clone troops will actually sit. So next up, we're going to place our 1x2 clip on this side, or 1x2 bar attachment modified piece, and then our two 1x1 vertical clips on either side of that. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Bar piece in the middle, clip on either side, like so. Next we're going to take our T-bar pieces, we're going to plug those in so that they're facing out the back, like that. And these are going to be what we attach both guns and legs to. So we're going to go ahead and do the same on the other side. T-bar piece right here, and one like so. So up at the front side, we're going to take our black clip pieces here, or the Exoforce hand pieces. I'm going to attach those to the T-bar. Just keep them fairly close to the center of the cockpit, because these are the kind of cockpit secondary defense guns here that, you know, aim at the troops on the ground. Place the second one on this side. Kind of tuck it in there, like so. And at the back side, we have two smaller cannons that aim off in different directions, and I'm using black minifigure hands to represent those, so one on either side. All right, and then finally we have the leg pieces. There are 8 of them. They are identical assemblies. You have one gray Exoforce hand piece, and I like to use the ones with the rounded bottoms because I feel like they just fit nicer into these clips. And then we have a 1x1 light bluish gray clip. So you plug in one of those right here. And this is an illegal technique to have a clip holding onto a bar like this, but it's really the only way at my scale to be able to capture this, so kind of have to do it. So we have 2 of those there. One comes out of the back, attaches right here like so. Another one up at the front, same idea as the one in the back, just comes out of the front like that. And just kind of line them up carefully. Now I have a bunch of different styles of clip for the feet and different styles of the Exoforce hand pieces for the legs. I have some that are the square bottoms and some that are the rounded bottoms. But in the instructions that I'm including, or in the digital file that I'm including with this, they'll all be uniform, so you guys will all end up with the same ones. And then place that in there. Whoops, lost one of his feet. And then just place the other 3 in there like so. And oops, lost a foot again. So for the spacing on this, you know, you want it to be, you want to make sure that you're getting them on the either side of this kind of center section, and that center section is left bare. And then finally, last foot on the front, like so. So there is your open top troop carrier with all 8 legs intact, and a little opening door at the back to allow the troops to deploy. And then at the end of the video, I'll show you guys just quickly how to connect the the ATOT to the LAATc. So stick around for that if you need a demo on how that works. But there you go, there's your ATOT. So next up, we're going to build the ATTE. So we're going to take our 1x6 dark gray plate. I'm going to place a 1x1 light bluish gray plate on that. And then we're going to take our headlight brick in the dark red, very similar to the ATOT. And then place a tile this time in the dark trans black color. And then back here we're going to place our 1x2 modified brick with the plates on, or the studs on both sides, followed by a dark 1x1 red brick back there. And we're going to take our Technic 1x1 in the dark bluish gray, and we're going to place into that a modified 1x1 brick with the studs on both sides. And then at the back of that, we're going to place our cheese slope piece, like so. That then clips in to the back side like that, and that just gives it a little bit of extra structure, having those two connected. You could, if you wanted to, substitute this for a single regular 1x1 brick and then a 1x1 with the single stud on it. That would work as well, but I like this because it gives a little bit of extra spine to it. Then I'm going to place a tile across the middle here, just a regular 1x2 tile. And then same goes for this one, just a regular 1x2 tile with the dark red color. And then on the top here, my 1x2 regular plate. So onto the top of that, we have the clip here, the 1x1 for the gun mount. And we'll place a lightsaber bar hilt piece into that, and this represents the area where the clone gunner would sit. And there's actually a troop up here that actually mans this cannon. And then we take our 1x3 bar piece and plug in a Technic half bushing, just leaving a little bit of extra bar exposed there, and we plug that into the lightsaber piece. Next we'll build up the sides, so we take our 1x4 plate and we plug in a 1x2 dark bluish gray binocular piece into the front of that. We have our two 1x1 gray clips with the vertical clip configuration, like so, and then a regular dark bluish gray 1x1 clip on the top, like that. So then into the back here, we take our slope piece in the light bluish gray, the 1x2 slope, and then into that stud in the back, we place our modified bar piece in black, which represents the cannon that defends the back of the vehicle. Then we have a gray ingot piece, which just covers over and creates the front armor plating that kind of sandwiches in the gun, or the two guns up at the front. So there's that. Next, we take our T-bar pieces, and we make sure that this time we have them in this configuration where the bottom portion of the T is facing outwards, like so. And we can plug this in, lining that up, the gray parts lining up right there. Plug that into the side, and go ahead and replicate that on the other side real quick. So I have my 1x1, I already placed this clip on here, or sorry, so the 1x4 plate with the clip on it, you guys can see, and then the binocular piece up at the front right here, the two clips with the vertical configuration like so, slope piece in the back, modified bar plate right here for the cannon, and then the ingot to cover over the front, like so. And that plugs in exactly the same to the other side. You can line up the two cannons, so they look like they kind of face up, you know, sort of vertically like that. So I like to keep it like that. So we have the body done. Now we'll go ahead and place the legs, which I have the central legs are these skeleton pieces in the dark bluish gray, into which I've plugged a 1x1 clip piece, just like with the rest of the feet, and that just very snugly fits in there. Again, I believe that this is an illegal technique, but what can you do? So then we just plug that hand right into there, like so. You can just kind of adjust it down to get the right angle, and then we plug our two feet pieces for the back, the shorter back and front legs. These are the same exact design as the ATOT clip and the Exoforce handpiece, like so. And you can just line those up. And we'll just place the ones on the other side the same way. So we have our T-bar pieces, like so, facing outwards. There's those. Back leg, front leg, and the central larger leg. Right in there. So there is your Republic ATTE. And I'd love to see you guys modify one of these and create the one that Captain Rex has in the Clone Wars, or sorry, in the Rebels episode. That would be really cool to see. Now I'll give you guys a quick demo on how to attach and carry these vehicles using this one. So it's actually fairly simple yet complex. So I'll just take off the stand, because obviously that will be in the way if I want to carry that. And essentially what I'm going to use is these two, the edges of these two pieces right here. And I'm going to come in with my ship, just kind of spread these out first. I'm going to place this on the top, and I'm just going to kind of line this up so that these faucet pieces can kind of be maneuvered into place to hold right in this little notch that we left in the center there, and just essentially grab on to that portion of the vehicle, and then securely that's in there, and you can just fly your ship in there. And it's really easy if you want to just kind of just wiggle it off, or you can just pull it off when you want to deploy it and fly your LAATc away. So that one's pretty easy. So once again, just right here in the center is where you want to just line up these pieces, and it really just, you know, it's in there just with the force of the pinch of kind of just friction holding that in, but it works really well. And then if you want to have your ATOT, or sorry, your ATTE, you need to kind of move the cannon to the side. So once the cannon is moved to the side, you can just come in here with your, oops, just get these spread out again. Come in here and you just grab, same kind of idea, except this time you're going to grab behind the back legs, and then you're just going to be able to carry your ship that way and deploy it. Oops, I have it a little bit crooked here. Sorry, I grabbed it in the wrong spot in the back here. But essentially you just plug it in behind the legs, and it's good to go. So there that is. It comes in, drops it off, you can just wiggle it loose, and then fly off again. So there you go. There's your ATOT, LAATc, and ATTE set. Alright guys, there are your vehicles. I sincerely hope that you enjoy building them and having a whole army of little tabletop-sized Clone Wars vehicles to play around with. Let me know which other ships from the Microfleet series you guys would like to see, and if you haven't seen the Microfleet series yet, it's essentially as many Star Wars vehicles as I could possibly think of, built all to this exact same scale. And currently I'm up to, I think, 24 episodes, and I have a huge range of different crafts, so check that out if tiny Star Wars vehicles is something that you're into. So that's going to be it from me today, guys. Don't forget to download your digital version of the file, the studio file from the link in the description. Have fun building, and may the Force be with you.